Hi, my name's Katie. You may not know me. I'm not a regular at Rose City Church, but I've met a couple of you in the last little while when I've visited. I live in Brisbane, and I just like getting out of the city sometimes, going for a bit of a drive. And yeah, I've camped at Leslie Dam a few times and visited your church. I'd planned to visit Warwick around Easter time, but clearly that couldn't happen. So I just emailed Dave to let him know that I was praying for you guys and to say that I'd enjoyed watching your daily churches. And he asked whether I'd like to do one too. I told him that I was using Psalm 131 to pray for you, and he suggested that I could share about that. Now, I wouldn't have expected that I would be doing this, but I reckon there's a whole bunch of stuff going on just now that we would never have expected. So I just thought, why not? I don't know about you, but I'm not a huge fan of the unexpected. I really like to know what's going on. I like to know how things work. I like to have a plan. That gives me a sense of security. And when I don't know or I don't understand, that can make me feel unsettled. Even before all this unexpected COVID stuff started happening, I'd been thinking about how little I actually know, how much I don't understand. And been reading about how only God knows everything. He's all-knowing. We are created in God's image, and there's lots of ways that we can and should be like Him. We should be loving and merciful and kind and wise and faithful. But we can't be all-knowing. And as much as I want to know everything, I don't. And as much as I want to understand everything, I don't. And I can't. And more than that, I'm actually not meant to. That's something that belongs to God. He's the only one who really knows what's going on. Only one who knows how everything works and what the big plan actually is. So it got me thinking, because I'll never understand everything I want to understand, and because I'll never know everything I want to know, my sense of security can't be based on those things. My sense of security and well-being has to be grounded not in the fact that I know what's going on, but in the fact that I know the one person who does, the one person who knows exactly what's going on. And so I shouldn't strive for things that aren't mine to know. I need to be content in my limitedness and just to humbly accept how small and unknowing I am. And in my reading and thinking about this, I came across Psalm 131. It's just a little psalm, but I reckon it's pretty cool. Some people think that this psalm is a psalm of David in response to people who are kind of accusing him of trying to take Saul's kingship. It's kind of like David's defense, his defense to God, saying he's not doing that. He's not trying to grab hold of something that's not his to take. So let me read Psalm 131. O Lord, my heart is not lifted up. My eyes are not raised too high. I do not occupy myself with things too great and too marvelous for me, but I have calmed and quieted my soul. Like a weaned child with its mother, like a weaned child is my soul within me. O Israel, hope in the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. So David said his heart is not lifted up. His heart's not proud. He's not thinking he's more than he actually is. And his eyes are not raised too high. He's not trying to take what's not his to have. He's not looking at something and going, I'm going to have that, I want that. He's not fixed on trying to figure things out that are too big for him, too great and marvelous for him to understand. He's like a weaned child with its mother. He's secure. He's not screaming, not doing everything he can to get this thing. He's at peace. And he has calmed and quieted his soul. I really like that picture. It's as though he's totally content with his humble position. He's not striving to have things that aren't his to have. Then in the last verse, O Israel, hope in the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. He's found his hope and contentment and security in God. That in itself is a lovely thing, but it's a challenge for me. When I don't know what's going on, is it enough for me just to know God? Is my hope and contentment and security in Him? I want it to be that way. I don't know that it always is. When I find myself stressing when things are uncertain or unchanging or things are changing, I want to reassure myself that it's okay, that I don't know stuff, that I don't know how things are going to turn out. I want to tell myself not to raise my eyes too high and to try to understand things that are too great and marvelous for me to understand. I want to quiet my soul to be content knowing God and knowing that He knows. It's really lovely that when David gets his head around all this, he doesn't keep it to himself. He tells other people that they should do the same. He says, "O Israel," he's talking to Israel, "hope in the Lord from this time forth and forevermore." And that was the prayer I had for you when I emailed Dave, the prayer I have for myself as well. So I pray for you guys at Rose City Church, that you wouldn't concern your hearts and minds with things that are out of your control, but that your souls would be quieted in the knowledge that you're created by God and cared for by Him, and that your hope would be in Him now and forever. It's been great sharing with you. I look forward to when I can visit again.